Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and variations thereupon. It's Citizen7, and we're back playing Slay the Spire. We've just reached Act 2, so now we have to make a choice. Do we want the left-hand route, or do we want the right-hand route? And now the left is going to give us, either way, we start out with a battle, and immediately we have, again, a choice between we want a question or a battle. We can get a store very quickly on this left side. On the right side, there are no stores until after the treasure. Honestly, I'm cool with that. Let's fight battles because we have some money right now, but not a ton. Let's get a lot more money before we want to be buying things. So this way we could go fight, question, fight, rest. Or we could go question first, fight, and then elite, rest. And that sounds really good to me. So let's do that. All right, so we're in a whole new act. We've got all new enemies, and this is a Spirit Guardian. So it is defensive. It intends to block on its turn, and it says barricade. Block is not removed at the start of the turn. Artifact negates 3 debuffs. So the first 3 times that we try to put a debuff on it, I assume that includes this bash, which is going to apply vulnerable, things like that. It won't stick. And he stacks armor over time. So, wow, that's irritating. But we can use our Inflame right away. And you see the power cards just go straight into your person. They don't go into your discard pile. So we've increased our power immediately. We could start off with a bash since he's going to be defensive, and use the anger. I think that's going to be our best choice. So yeah, you see it was negated, so he doesn't become weakened. But we've bonked away a little bit of his ability, and we've started stacking anger. So let's end the turn. So he just gained another 20 armor. Next time he's going to attack us for 10 and inflict a negative effect on us. So we do have 4 energy this turn, so it looks like our flower, our happy flower, also does stack between battles. So we could deal 28 damage to him doing that, or we could, deal 24 using Perfected Strike and still have 2 left over. So I like the idea of that, because then we can also use our Clash and Strike. So yeah, let's play Defend. We'll play Perfected Strike. We'll play Clash. And so our Pen Nib is going to go off this time. So this will deal 14 damage or 16. Or the odds, our next attack will deal double damage. You know what I'm thinking is that he is going to inflict a negative effect on us. It doesn't say a powerful negative effect, so just a negative effect. So it'll be one that wears off. Probably he's going to try and weaken us, which means that we will deal less damage. So my choice is either we can strike now and deal 16 damage to him and actually get through his armor, or we could save our Pen Nib for next turn when we have more cards and maybe get a much better strike. But if he's going to debuff us, that might not be the best choice. So let's go ahead and get damage through now, knowing that the debuff is coming in. Make the most use of our energy. He's now actually been harmed, and we will end the turn. So we take 5, and we're frail now. So our block is going to do less. So he didn't actually hurt our damage at all. So saving the twin strike would have probably been good, but since we can actually just straight up kill him now, it worked out. And we've healed back to full. We get another poison potion, and we get to add a card. We have Searing Blow +1. Deal 16 damage, can be upgraded any number of times. 16 is a lot. We have an Anger Plus, deal 6 damage, place a copy. Or we have another Perfected Strike. We're absolutely going to take Perfected Strike because Perfected Strike we already know is our most powerful card. Getting a second one just makes them both more powerful because it has Strike in the name. So there we go. The other cards, yes, they were pre-upgraded, which made them seem quite good. But Perfected Strike is just exactly the strategy that we're building towards. So I have acquired a mug of tea. To keep my voice supple and useful. So we're going to take the right choice because we want to fight these battles and into the elite. So let's take our question and see what happens. It's a bunch of thieves. Well, we could use Battle Trance to draw cards and see if we draw our powerful buff. And I think that is a good choice. Let's draw. Draw first. All right, so we didn't. We got feed. We're gonna try to want to use that to actually, deal lethal to someone. We've got 20 damage coming in, quite a bit, and they're both gonna steal. So I'm looking at this clash here and thinking, oh, did I really mess up? But it turns out, in order to use the clash, I did have to play that draw. So we could use our defend, and then clash, and twin strike. I think that's how we're going to do the most damage here, and it'll negate, one of these attacks will only take 10 instead of 20. I think that's the choice that we're going to have to make. It'd be nice to have more powerful defense cards, but they are what they are. Mostly, we're trying to win by dealing as much damage as possible, as quickly as possible. And we're going to go for the lower hit points guy just because we know we can kill him quicker. And Twin Strike will do another 10 to him. We have 2 Twin Strikes in hand. Now we know from past experience if we kill these guys we can get some of their stuff back. So, okay, now we've got Inflame. They're attacking again. We're going to use our Defend so that we activate our Clash. Do we want to drink this Dexterity Potion to gain more block? I don't know that we do. I think that we want to defend and use Perfected Strike. This is 16. Yeah, Perfected Strike to kill this looter and then deal our clash damage against the mugger. Yeah, that's the only way that the math works out to kill one. So, Perfected Strike takes care of that guy. We should be able to get back maybe the gold that he stole, but we'll see. So we know that we've lost 30. We'll keep track of how much we get back. And we're going to take 5. 5 is, negligible. Three. So we have an anger here. Or we could deal 21 damage. He's going to do 16, so that is an extensive amount of damage. If we use Rage and Anger and Defend, that'll gain us 9. And Strike. So let's do that. First we'll Rage. We will Defend. We'll Strike. So we're up at 9. We're up at 13. So we're only going to take 3 damage. And actually, even though this says spend 0 energy, I think we can still play this just to gain that 4 block and take no damage. Let's see if it works that way. It does, in fact. So we did no damage, but we gained the armor from it because of Rage. So that's a nice little synergy that we just discovered there. So we take no damage this turn. So I have lost count of how much gold has actually been stolen. I think we had lost 1 attack from the first guy and 3 now from him. So that's 60 gold total. 26, that's going to kill him. So let's see what Infernal Blade gives us. Perfected Strike for free. Yes. All right. So because now we've got another strike, these deal extra damage. Right. So yeah, we got all of our gold back. So that's excellent. We got an elixir, which exhausts all status and curse cards from your hand. That's not bad, but we don't actually have any curse cards. I'm not sure what the odds are that we're going to have a lot of statuses inflicted on us right now. I have seen what those are. They're cards that just wound, which are just cards that can't be played that go into your hand, but it exhausts them. It keeps them from being shuffled in. Honestly, let's take that over one of these poisons. We'll take that and see what we get. Another headbutt or another clash. Armaments, not... Actually, hang on. Let's think about this, because we had just complained, I wish I had some better cards for blocking. This is a better card for blocking because it's the same amount of block, and it upgrades a card in our hand for the rest of the combat. So it's a block plus an effect. We could increase our chances with Clash. We could grab another headbutt, but I think 1 headbutt is enough. I mean, headbutt is just a strictly better version of strike because it deals more damage and gives us a controlled draw. The only reason that we have strikes at a premium as opposed to something like headbutt is because of our 2 perfected strikes. And then we just have these defends. I think that taking armaments in this instance is actually going to be the right choice. One moment here. So yeah, we're gonna take armaments. and hope that that is going to be a good situation for us. Now, because this question mark ended up being a fight, let's take the next question mark. Venturing through a series of tombs, you are faced with a large sarcophagus studded with gems in the center of a circular room. You cannot make out the writing on the coffin, however, you do notice black fog seeping out from the sides. So we can open it to receive a relic, and we will become 50% chance to become cursed with Writhe, which is unplayable and innate, which means it will always start in our opening hand. So we'll always have this Writhe card, so basically a dead card. Honestly, only a 50% chance we're going to get a relic, and because we draw extra cards at the beginning of our turn, that's not nearly as bad as it would be for someone who had fewer cards. So yeah, it's frustrating. We can get rid of it eventually, though. Let's open the coffin. You push open the coffin, the fog dissipates harmlessly. Inside you find the mortal remains of a decorated soldier grasping an old relic. You pilfer it and move on. So we didn't even get the curse. We got Shuriken. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 1 strength. That is incredible. That goes exactly with the kind of strategy that we're trying to do. So now I'm thinking, oh man, we should have taken another clash just to be able to keep stacking those attacks. But let's go ahead, fight an enemy, and see what happens. Alright, so we've got Pen Nib going off the next attack. Okay. This is a shelled parasite. He's going to attack us for 6 damage 2 times. And plated armor means that he gains 14 block at the end of his turn. Losing HP from an attack reduces plated armor by 1. Okay, so he's going to have 14. He's going to have 14 armor every time until we beat it down. And then we have this slaver. He intends to attack for 12. So they're both going to attack for 12. We've got 4 energy this turn. So we could do armaments, and defend, which will gain us 10 block, and then we can start battering this guy, deal 20 damage, apply 3 vulnerable, or yeah, deal 10 damage twice. Let's play armaments first, because if it upgrades Twin Strike, it'll make that definitely a card that we... No, let's play Bash. We'll play Bash first, because Bash is already upgraded. We know we're still going to have 2 energy. We're going to play armaments. Whatever it upgrades, we'll be able to play it. And then we can choose whether we want to gain armor or deal more damage. 20? Yeah, hang on. So now he's vulnerable. He's only at 26, so we can deal 5 damage twice to him, which would actually do 14, reducing him to 12, and these are only going to do 9. So we can't quite kill him unless Armaments upgrades Twin Strike. So let's play Armaments. Choose! It's not random. Oh. Alright. So deal 7 damage twice. And then because of his vulnerable, we're still not going to be able to kill him this turn. But that seems very good to me. Let's deal 10 damage twice. Okay, so yeah, I keep forgetting that it rounds up on that one. So we're gonna take 19 damage, which is significant if we do this move. Or we could gain 5, and instead of taking 19, take 14. The difference between 14 and 19 seems so unimportant. Let's do this. If we do this, and then we have this poison, poison creatures lose HP at the start of their turn. Each turn poison is reduced by 1. So we are going to apply our poison to the slaver. He's now poisoned for 6. He's going to die before he hits us for 12. So we're only going to take 6 twice. And with our 5 armor, there we go. So we killed the slaver in 1 turn because of our handy potions. I'm totally on board with that. Now our shuriken, of course, we didn't get the chance to activate that, but that's all right. Now, and it has to be 3 attacks. So, attack. Yeah, battle trance, draw 3. It's possible we could draw nothing but attacks. And then Infernal Blade. So let's draw first because it's free. And we did. We drew only attacks. So we're going to play Infernal Blade, turn it into an attack, and then that activates our Clash. Rampage 0. Alright, deal 8 damage every time this card is played. Increase its damage by 4 for this combat. Alright, so Rampage continues to get stronger. And it costs 0. I don't know if it's going to continue to cost 0 every time it comes up, or if it after this turn it will go to whatever its normal mana cost is. But either way, that's huge. So we've got 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's and our Shuriken will trigger on the 3rd. So we want to use Quick Strike after the Shuriken has triggered. So let's go Clash, getting rid of his armor, Rampage, which reduces his shell by 1. Feed is exhausted when we use it, so we want to wait and keep that for lethal if we can. Strike him. So now our Shuriken is activated into Strength, and now we can do 6 damage twice off of Twin Strike. So his shell has gone down from 14 to 10. He's going to do 10 to us. Hurtful. And tossing the Whirlwind for 0 is not going to be effective here because of Shuriken. But it will bring the Pen Nib closer, so let's just toss it. Just to activate that Pen Nib. Alright, so this turn he's going to attack and buff himself. But we have the ability to Inflame and then use Perfected Strike. Now, if we instead, if we decide to skip Perfected Strike, we could Inflame and Defend and use Anger and Clash. It's not enough to activate the Shuriken. But we definitely want to start by Inflaming. So we could deal 27 or 17 and 7. So 24 giving us another anger into discard, and I think this is the only anger that we have, so it hasn't come up yet. And if we do 24, put an extra anger in, and we'll have 5 blocks, so we'll only take 5 damage. Or we could do just 27. I think doing more things is going to be better. So let's defend. Bring our Clash online. Because 2 attacks is going to even decrease his plated armor even further. We only take 5. That I feel a lot better about. We have 1 energy just sort of wasted, but you know, it is what it is. And we've got 2 more attacks until the Pen Nib goes off. Alright, so what we're going to do here, we're going to play Headbutt, and that'll activate the pen nib on Perfected Strike, and we should be able to kill this guy. All right, so oh, and we have 4 energy, so 12. 4 is going to go through, and then 27 times 2. It doesn't really matter, the math, but we'll rage first just to get that best bonus out of it. We want to draw Rampage. Okay, so yeah, the cost has gone to 1 instead of what it was. But now our pen nib is going off. Perfected Strike wins us the battle, just like we figured. So let's see. What do we get? Shrug It Off. Gain 11 block. Draw a card. Shrug It Off plus, in fact. That is a good block card. I think that considering the amount of damage that enemies are doing to us, I know that early in the game we were just going, all in on attack. But Shrug It Off sounds really good to me because it's not only does it give us twice as much block as our other block cards, it's also a cantrip. So we're going to take that. On to the next battle. And then we're going to take on this elite before we rest. Look at these fools. Alright, so we've got cultists. They're all cultists. They all intend to buff themselves, but they have different levels of hit points. We do have Inflame to play right away. And then bash one of them. So let's do that. That's usually our good. Now, if we don't bash, we can play armaments to do double strike. I don't think that Inflame can be upgraded, but let's find out. Let's play armaments first because it's upgrade a card we get to choose. So we're going to do this first. We're going to go the Clash route. And yes, we can. We can gain 3 strength from Inflame. So that's going to be, obviously, it's used this one time, 3, but it's a 3 permanent buff. Or we could buff it on a card that's going to get drawn around again. If we do it on Clash, it increases the damage by 4. If we do it on Headbutt, it increases the damage by 3. We're going to, honestly, I think doing it on Inflame is the best choice because this 1 extra damage is going to affect every single attack that we play. So that's, the 4 damage that you might get off of Clash. That's only, that's 4 the first time that we play it. And then the next time it will be another 4 if we happen to draw that 1 again and are able to play it. Because sometimes we can't play Clash in our hand. And this is going to affect every attack we do. So this is what we're doing. Inflame plus. Play it now. There we go. Our clashes are active. Bash we can't play. But we're going to Clash, Headbutt. And honestly, we're going to get armaments again and draw it next turn. So 17 twice is going to be 32. We're going to put it on the weakest cultist so that we have the best chance to... Oh, and then, 32 and 12 is going to make it 44. We still can't kill that cultist. We're going to put it on the strongest cultist because of how much damage we're doing. We want to take out the big one first. I think that's the best choice. Clash, Headbutt, and we're going to draw armaments next turn. Guaranteed. Since we've already gotten both of our clashes, we don't have to worry about having a skill that we have to play. And we're going to get the chance to upgrade something else. Maybe Perfected Strike. Maybe one of these Twin Strikes. Anything that we upgrade is going to be good. It's going to stick with us. So let's do it. Incantation. Ritual. Incantation Ritual. Incantation Ritual. Caca. Now, what does this do? This enemy, they do intend to attack for 6 each. 6, 6, 6. At the end of its turn, gain 3 strength. So they're going to get buffed, but it's a slow buff. So we only have 1 attack this turn. It does do 10 damage. So we can kill this guy. No question. And then we have 12 incoming, so we can play Shrug It Off. That sounds excellent. And we have this rage, or this armaments, and we have rage. Let's play armaments first and see what our upgrades can be, whether we want to upgrade rage or battle trance. Upgrading battle trance gives us 4 cards. Upgrading rage will gain us 6 block. You know, let's take that. So we're gonna play. So. Next turn we're gonna have 4 energy. We could draw 3 cards, but we know that we're probably not going to be able to play any of them unless we grab anger. But otherwise, this is going away. So let's play it. See if we get anger. It will, because our strength is currently at 4, which is incredible. If we get anger, we can kill this cultist for free, because that will deal 8 damage. And that lets us rage instead of rage and Shrug It Off instead of having to use strike to kill this enemy. So let's see if we draw anger. And we did in fact draw anger. So we're gonna play rage. We have our 5. Now we can kill this guy. We have 11, so we're only going to take 1 damage here. So we could do Shrug It Off to draw another card and gain more block, you know, to take no damage instead of whatever. But because we raged, we can attack and we'll gain that armor and take no damage. This will deal 9 damage to all enemies, or we can do 18 damage to 1 enemy. So do we want to spread it out or do we want to focus it in? And I think the answer is we want to focus. We want to focus. And we're going to hit the lower guy. And we are going to spend the whirlwind to trigger the shuriken and get us to 5 strength. So let's do that. There we go. So we've gotten very tanky by effective use of all of those attacks together with rage. We've got 4 this time, but mostly defend cards, 1 feed, 1 strike. So we can, let's see. These guys now are attacking for 9, and they've got a buff again. So their strength is going to get even more powerful. What do we have? Dexterity and elixir. We don't have any ability to draw. Honestly, this is a bad hand. This is the worst hand that we could get at this time because we can't finish anyone off. We don't want to use this feed to not deal lethal damage. So I guess we're going to stack armor. 15 armor with 18 coming in. We're going to take 3, and we can deal 11 damage. That's the best we're going to be able to do. And maybe we can get feed to deal lethal, but maybe not. So they are now dealing 12 a turn, and this ritual just keeps going on. So it's not even like they have to recast it. They just get stronger and stronger. Fortunately, this turn, if we strike, twin strike, that will trigger our pen nib and our shuriken. Even though Perfected Strike, very good, 29, it will just flat out kill this guy. But we have 11 and 11. That will kill this one. And then Twin Strike is going to go up 1 because of shuriken into 11 damage twice, except it's going to be doubled to 22 damage twice, and that will put onto this guy. So that's how we're going to play this turn out. Pen nib. Okay, so the shuriken, 20 damage twice. The shuriken won't trigger until after we play Twin Strike. My miscount on that. But I was right about the pen nib. So dealing 40 damage to this guy feels really good. Yes, we are going to take 12. Yes, that is incredibly painful, but we get to kill him next turn, and we'll heal 6 at the end of the battle. Oh, that hurt. And of course, he's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But we can use feed to gain max hit points. We did draw it. We do get to use it to deal lethal. There we go. Add a card. What do we have? Uppercut plus. Deal 13 damage, apply 2 weak and 2 vulnerable. Searing Blow, deal 12 damage. It can be upgraded any number of times. Or Body Slam, deal damage equal to your current block. That's pretty good. It goes together with Rage. But I do like the utility of Uppercut because it will weaken some of these really powerful attack characters, and it gets us that vulnerable that we like to see. So I think the choice here is to take Uppercut. And our deck is getting a little bit thick, but that's okay. That's okay. Getting a little bit more card draw definitely be good. Because it's taking us a little bit of time to cycle now. But for the most part, I'm okay with the situation. Let's go ahead and fight this boss and see what happens. Painful Stabs. Okay. So it's the Book of Stabbing. Whenever you take damage from this enemy, add a wound into your discard pile. So this, now our elixir, is going to definitely help us out in this situation. And he tends to attack us twice for 6. And we have 4 energy this turn. Our whole hand is attacks, so our Clash is online. We don't have any strength buffs right now, but we'll be able to trigger the Shuriken. Yeah, on one of these Twin Strikes. So let's start out by bashing. And then we'll Clash to deal 21. And then we'll Twin Strike to deal 7 twice, which triggers our Shuriken. Now we'll Twin Strike to deal 9 twice. And then we'll toss Whirlwind just to get our pen nib tick. I think that's reasonable. So, hold on for damage. Wounds going into the deck. 2 wound cards right there. But he's going to hit us 3 times next turn. But fortunately, we do have Shrug It Off. And we've got Battle Trance. So, Perfected Strike, 25 damage. Let's play Shrug It Off first. See what we draw. Because Battle Trance will allow us to draw again, but not if we play it before Shrug It Off. Now let's see what we could draw. We've got 2 skills, 3 skills, a power, 4 skills, 5 skills. Now, and we have 2 skills in hand. So, right, I was thinking that we had Clash for some reason. Okay, so if we draw a Clash, it's going to be dead. But that's not really a big deal. Let's draw and see what we get. We did draw Clash. It is the dead card in our hand, but we can play Anger. So I'm liking that. We can play Rage to gain a little bit more. Yes, because we can play Rage for 1 to gain 4 block, gain 4 off of Anger and 4 off of Strike, which will take us into the realm of taking no more damage from him. So let's Rage. We'll Anger him for 7 damage. Get an extra Anger in the deck, and then a Strike for 10. If we could have played Clash, then we would have been able to trigger the Shuriken. But 2 attacks until Nib goes off, and we don't take any damage this turn. So it does say whenever you take damage, add a wound. So I think we won't take any wounds because of our block. That's how I'm hoping this works. Yes, no wounds. All right, so now he's going to use this large cleaver attack, 21 damage. He has 1 more round of vulnerable. And what can we do? We could 21 damage. That's half our health. So we definitely want to use armaments to gain some block, and then we're going to have to do some attacking. Now this is an elite, so it's a good, I think now is a good time to use this dexterity potion just to increase our block amount. Is that reasonable? That might not be the best choice. We get to control what we draw, and we're going to draw Shrug It Off because I don't want to take that much damage again. Let's play armaments. Let's upgrade Headbutt to deal 13. Yeah, I'm good with that. So it's actually going to be 19. We're going to draw Shrug It Off next turn to get that block. Our Pen Nib goes off on our next attack. So we could deal 14, actually 21. The feed will deal 33. It'll be exhausted. We won't get the effect out of it. But 33, honestly, is more than half of his health. I think it's worth it because it's going to set us up for lethal next turn. We're going to have 4 energy next turn. We know we're going to Shrug It Off. We're going to draw Shrug It Off. It's going to be on the top of our library. If we draw Perfected Strike and Inflame, then we have lethal if we feed this turn. So we are going to feed to attempt to set up lethal next turn, because we're taking big damage here. Right, a wound. Infernal Blade. Alright, so we're going to play Shrug and see what we draw. Inflame. He's at 28. Strike, and he's no longer weakened. This will make this do 10 damage. So let's draw Infernal. Right, we know this is going to be a 0 cost. There. Alright, alright, alright. There we go. Perfected. 29 damage. That was what we needed. So the RNG gods have blessed us. We get Self-Forming Clay. When you lose 3 hit points in combat, when you lose hit points, gain 3 block. Yeah, that's gonna help us out a little bit. All right, so add a card, Shrug It Off, Body Slam, or Rampage. I think taking another Shrug It Off, objectively good. It's a cantrip. It gets us a lot of block. We're gonna take it. And it's time to rest. Now, let's see. We have the choice. We could regain 26 hit points. Or we could upgrade a card, and if we upgrade a card, I'd like it to be Armaments, because what Armaments upgraded does is it upgrades all of the cards in your hand instead of just one. And if we get that in our opening hand, that's going to be a lot of cards upgraded. And at this point, because our opening hand is 7 cards out of 28, we have reasonable chance. We have reasonable chance to draw it. No. We are a little bit low on hit points, and that is the truth. But we have one fight, and we know at the ends of fights we do gain 6 hit points. So we have a fight, a treasure, a fight, a question mark, a fight, a question mark, a rest, and then the boss. So can we make it to the boss with only 1 sleep? It is a very tough question, but I think we're going to risk it all, and we're going to do that. Let's smith and upgrade Armaments. Upgrade all cards in your hand for the rest of combat. That's incredibly powerful, and I want it. So we've taken our rest. We're halfway through Act 2. We're living dangerously. Thank you very much for watching, and we will resume Act 2 in the next video. So go ahead and subscribe if you want to, see that immediately when it comes out. All right, cheers. Thanks for watching.